This is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film. And today I am thrilled to be speaking with, well, dare I say, a freaking superstar. She is the Brooklyn-born Brooklyn Stafford, an incredible musician who is, well, let's just say her star is rising fast. But before we get to our interview, here is a sneak peek at this incredible artist, musician, Renaissance woman of the planet, giving you a little Mozart's Turkish March, well, with just, let's just say, a little Latin rhythm. Well, hello, Brooklyn. How are you?
Fantastic. And you?
Brooklyn, I have not met, of the 1,600 artists I've interviewed, someone who was born in the same place that I was, in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. I freaking love it.
Amazing. Amazing. I love that.
Brooklyn, for someone who is so young, you have not only a grasp of technical talent as a musician and an artist, but grasp of our landscape of musical genres. And I'm curious to know, what was that soundtrack of Brooklyn Stafford growing up in Bay Ridge? Because I can only imagine it ran the frickin' gamut.
Oh, that's a great question. Well, a lot of people ask, like, oh, where do you get like the Latin ideas? Where do you get these different genres from? And a lot of the music that I listened to was a lot of oldies. I love 70s. I love 80s music. It was one time, my mom told me when I was a little girl, I used to, like a baby, 3 years old, I started like dancing to Toxic by Britney Spears. And I loved it. It was such a naughty song, but I like good songs. You know, I don't care what the genre is. I really never care. If it feels good, I want to play it. That's why I get into classical music and different genres. I don't like to limit myself within one genre because I think that there's so much to be said for everything that's out there. And when I do like mashups or I do my piano, I listen first. I listen first to like what feels good. You know, a lot of people are like, okay, so what do you as a musician, like, what do you play Latin and do you play classical? And I don't like to think of it like that. I'm just a musician. I'm just here to play what feels right, what feels good. And that's all I can say. I listen to everything.
You're also a great storyteller, Brooklyn. I mean, we just saw within Turkish March with the way that you gave it that Latin sexy feel, but you know, you have everything from Disney mashing up with other classical genres. And what I think with you that I love so much is that you're an amazing storyteller, but also you have great chops to be able to look back, to look forward. I feel like you've almost been put on this earth not only to do your own thing, but to almost take what's been done and bring it to the 21st century.
That's a really good point. I think that really has to do with my classical upbringing. I started playing classical piano when I was around 9 years old. I went to this settlement called Third Street Music Settlement, and that's where I really got my chops. I did everything from Beethoven. I learned my technical aspects to playing on Bach. And I always had that upbringing in classical where it really stretched me, I believe, as a musician. And I don't think I would be able to play these different genres and mashups that I do now and bring my own artistic flair to it, because I feel like the classical definitely grounded me as a musician and gave me those chops to do whatever I really want to do today.
Yeah, it makes me think about dancers, right? You know, so many say when they studied ballet, it gave them that foundation. And for you, it seems like that foundation's so strong. But I have to also say, I mean, you're a 2-time ASCAP award winner. You also have, it seems you bring this unapologetic sensuality, yet classy sensuality to everything you do. Obviously, being born in Bay Ridge, we learn about the class. But I'm curious to know, I'm thinking about the young Brooklyn Staffords who get to look at you be your unapologetic self, stepping into your power. Where does that strength come from? Because I can only imagine it comes from a place of someone like you who has done the work and continues to do the work.
That is a great question. I think that really stems down from my freshman year of high school. I was really in a bad place physically. I had a lot of health issues at the time. I went through a really bad skin disorder called TSW. It's topical steroid withdrawal. And in that time, it had a reaction to the steroids that I put on for just, topical creams for, eczema. And during that time, I had a total withdrawal from that, where like my skin shed, I had like these blisters, and it was going into high school. As a freshman, looking like a total wreck. I was just in pain all the time. I wanted to be able to be at a point someday where I can make art and I can look the best I can and feel the best I can. And that, looking forward to that point, and I knew I would get there, but I wasn't there yet. That drove me to being my best once I got to that point, once I got healthier, once I got better. And that really set my direction for the next 4 years to start working harder, even on my craft. So I really say that was the turning point where I really just took things and like wanted to keep going with the music, and making sure that once I get to that point, I just hit it in the head. It's go time,
Well, not only go time, Brooklyn, but what I love so much about you is that everything that you post is a celebration. Everything that you post is positive. And I'm sure a lot of it has to stem from the fact of you being at that dark place. You made the choice to choose the light. You made the choice to do the work, not only for yourself, I'm sure your family, but again, also all these other artists out there who may be going through something that you have gone through, that you are now vulnerable enough to share. And I think it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I think it's really important to share your stories, to share your journey, because I think a lot of people just see, oh, you're a pianist, you're a musician, you put it all together, but there's so much behind it. There's so much practice. There's so many places that were dark. There's so many places where you really didn't think you would get to that point. And I think a lot of people don't see that. And I think it's important to share that with other people who might be going through the same thing,
Well, listen, Brooklyn Stafford, I could speak with you all day. I want to let the audience know, for more on the incredible Brooklyn, you can read more about her right below this video. Brooklyn, before I let you go, I want to say how excited we all are at FENIX360 that you are coming on board this incredible app, a social media app, not only connecting artists with other artists and fans in this country, but all around the world. And I am selfishly excited that we are now connected as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.